Welcome back, Jacob Durnell here. The only thing preventing you from achieving or feeling that you're able to achieve certain things that you set goals upon in life is a feeling and a sequence of thoughts and emotions and sensations in your body and your mind that accompany trying something new. So, for example, I experienced this. I was at work one day and there was a lull in the day. I had a little bit of free time. I was just taking a minor break, like a 5-10 minute break from the work, just at my desk, and I just started learning about rocket science. I looked up the rocket science equations, studied them, and this was something of interest because I have a degree in Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. So I have the ability to, kind of look into the rocket science equations and get an understanding of them. And I was just doing it for fun, but in the back of my head, I'm like, why don't I just try to compete with Elon Musk? Why don't I just try to start my own rocket science, or, start building rockets and commercial rocketry and compete with Elon? I was feeling very inspired that day, and there's nothing wrong with that. And why not try? And why not try in your mind first by doing the research and learning, those equations, I'm telling myself. So I do it, and I'm met with this sort of, this spirit of rocket science is like, whoa there, buddy, you can't just, study rocket science and think you're gonna start a business, shooting rockets off and getting people to pay you to put them on the rocket. No, you gotta be, you gotta be special. It's like this voice in your head comes around, and what I'm saying is, whenever you do something that you really want or that is difficult in general, there's always some sort of a spirit guarding it. There's a gatekeeper in your mind, and you're almost, on one level, you're connecting with the people who do actually do rocket science for a living when you start to study those equations. So this is what's happening. I'm studying the equations. I'm putting my mind in that realm of rocket science, and suddenly, boom, a new mind, my mind, bursts on the scene, the rocket science scene, this, non-physical mind world of rocket science, where all the minds that are committed and working towards rocket science are all inside this realm. And so I'm tapping into that, and suddenly they're like, whoa, who's this new guy on the scene? Who does he think he is? He's just gonna waltz in here and start studying rocket science? No, he's gotta pass all the tests. We have to initiate him into our cult of rocket science. So this is my experience, and just one example of what happens when you try new things. And just in the very beginning, when you're reading about this new thing you think you wanna try, or that you are gonna try, you are met with a lot of resistance, because on one level, what's happening is what I just said. You're entering a room full of a bunch of people who are professionals at this, and you're some newbie just trying to say, hey, what's up, I'm interested, or even you're a newbie and a rookie walking in saying, oh, I'm taking over. They're not gonna like that. So they wanna see what you're made of. So this is why it's hard to do new things on one level. And I'm just speaking on this one level. It's also hard to do new things because you're unfamiliar, and your brain doesn't know how to learn that thing yet. It's not used to it. Okay, but on another level, it's like you're talking to spirits. This spirit of rocket science, and all the people working on rocket science are like, okay, dude, you want to be a part of this? Let's see what you're made of. So then what happens is you get these feelings of, I'm not good enough, of, well, maybe this was a bad idea. Now, I was feeling good today, I was feeling inspired, but once I started looking at these equations, now I got these voices in my head telling me I'm not good enough, or challenging me, or scaring me and making me feel scary emotions. This stuff happens, and it only happens when you try to do things that are generally pretty difficult. If you try to do something that's easy, it's like, no one cares. And you're not met with much resistance. It's just do the job or don't. But when it's more difficult things that require a lot of practice and skill and natural ability and talent to really do well at, then suddenly there's a gatekeeper in your mind and there's these sensations that are gatekeeping sensations where you have to be hard enough to feel this. It's like an actual sensation in your body that like makes you scared. And it's this, what I'm seeing as I've gone through these types of sort of initiations and just by thinking about certain, you know, forbidden topics or high level topics, the more difficult something is to do, the more difficult it is to get on the scene and to be even allowed to think about it seriously. Once you seriously consider doing something, that's when the fun begins. That's when the challenges begin. So with this rocket science, I'm like seriously thinking I can, you know, over time, you know, save money and start a rocket science business, because that was the flavor of the day that day. And it's still in the back of my mind. I think about it from time to time, but right now I'm focused on my work, my tennis, these videos, my relationships, my health and well-being, and my ability to have free time to seriously think. And I'm always studying and learning more, whether it's based on my own thought experiments and experimenting with this sort of universe we have in front of us. It's kind of like your human body's right here where I'm standing, and then right in front of me is this whole universe where you can interact with it by speaking and asking it questions. And then on another level, there's like ultimate reality, which is just total peace and innocence. So there's so many levels of what you can access right now in your life. You just need to be educated on them, and you need to really understand how they feel. Certain places in the universe, which is like this bubble in front of your body that you don't see it with your own two eyes, but you access it by thinking in a universal way. And the universe responds to people caring about the human race and caring about achieving things for the human race. But then ultimate reality just cares about you being pure, innocent, taking care of your body, and not being a nuisance to society, and just, you know, doing a good job and being a good guy. That's ultimate reality. That's what it really cares about, is kind of just not ruffling too many feathers and just taking care of your business. The universe is more interested in like real deal accomplishment, difficult things. And then there's the multiverse, the omniverse, and all these other thought, you know, constructs you can tap into. And it's really fun to do, and I want to show you that in this video as well. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm gonna start building rockets like Elon Musk, because my ego's telling me that's what I want to do. I want to show off. So, and then I'm met with fear. I'm met with uneasiness. I'm met with this sort of deity of this intelligence of rocket science itself saying, you know, really, dude, you think you're good enough to hang with the big boys? And it was really intimidating and scary feeling. Just by thinking about rocket science, but thinking in a serious way, seriously considering doing something and thinking that way, thinking in a serious way will connect you with those intelligences and spirits of whatever that topic is. But you have to be serious and convicted in how you're thinking about it. Then the universe will respond, or your, you know, whatever you're thinking about will respond. If you're just pondering it, oh, that's interesting, oh, that's cool, no one's gonna care. People only care when you're seriously considering something which puts their livelihood in jeopardy, because if you want to bust on the scene somewhere, you're really kicking someone else out, or you're providing something to the scene that expands it, and therefore you provided enough value to where you created your own spot on the scene, right? So if you come into rocket science with a new invention that boosts the science of it ahead, then you automatically get a spot. But if you're just trying to hop on the scene and not innovate and just burst onto the scene and just do what everyone else is doing, then you got to take someone's spot. You got to take them out. So that's how this works. So you'll be met with a lot of resistance if you're not bringing anything new to the scene. But if you have an invention to donate and to share with people, then you have your spot there, which is really cool. So that's why having the courage to think for yourself and try to invent something new gets you really far in life, because that's your ticket in. That's your ticket into the big leagues. That's your ticket into being a part of something really cutting edge and exciting and unique, and probably perhaps even a fairly small circle of people working on it, because it is so difficult and forbidden. All the difficult things are forbidden. All the mysterious things are difficult. That's how this is. All the things that you're just allowed to know about and that are easy, white out in the open, you know, no one's trying to prevent you from knowing about it. But the stuff that's really worthwhile, that will really give you a good feeling, that will really lead you on an awesome path and make your life really flourish and be amazing, are difficult, as they should be. So having the courage to invent a new thought or a new thought, idea, or emotion, like you can invent a new feeling. And then suddenly people are like, yeah, I like that flavor you got. I like your feeling. Like when you're writing music, for example, if you put a certain feeling into that music, you inscribe your own personal feeling that no one else has felt before into a song, you're going to be famous. And that's really what life is all about in terms of work, in terms of providing for yourself and pushing yourself forward in the grand scheme of things, and pushing your position to a higher position or a more broad and expansive position, or both. It's being innovative is what people value the most, is what people get excited about. That's where excitement comes from, innovation. And then on another level, there's family life, there's friends, and that's always there. That never changes. We always love relationships. We always love bonding with people. And that's never going to go away. But what we don't know we love yet is what innovation gets us. We don't know we love something yet. We don't know we need something yet until someone invents it. So we need to have the courage to invent new things. So if I'm trying to burst onto the rocket science scene without any new innovative invention, they're just going to haze me and induct me into their fraternity, and I get whatever position I get. And you don't throw a fit. But if I have some new development and I created my own rocket, or I have some blueprints for this brand new rocket design, and this is just one example, could be music, could be any sort of thing, but it has to do with work, innovation and work and creations is what I'm speaking on here. If I burst on the scene and they're like, whoa, you got a new engine motor that we can use, and it uses a different type of fuel, and it's cheaper and it has more thrust, okay, yeah, welcome, because you have something to give. So my advice to you is to always try to innovate. Break away from your routine. If you stay in a routine, you'll never innovate. We need more people to innovate and have the confidence and the courage to innovate. And sometimes when you're innovating, your experiment blows up in your face, and you get a little scar. You get a little teardrop on your eye, like the gangsters, right? But I'm not talking about killing people. That's what those teardrops mean. But it's a similar idea. So please don't kill people. Let's not do that. Let's innovate and progress the human race. Okay. So how do you innovate? You innovate by taking what you already know and then having the courage to think upon that basis, and then using those pre-existing rules based on what exists now. Think of how those rules can be expanded, can be stretched, can be flipped upside down, can be turned inside out, can be shoved inside of itself and mixed around itself, and just like play around with, like, you got silly putty in your hand and just mash it up in your mind and just really churn that idea in your mind and be like, how can this be different? You gotta like churn it in your mind is the best way I can put it, and put really dedicated, hard thinking into it, and have an emotional desire and perhaps even an attachment to innovating. Make a goal to create something new. This is what we need right now. The world is going up and down, but it's right now things are pretty settled. After COVID, things are pretty settled. We got all the doomsayers saying, oh, just you wait, it's gonna get really bad. The evil government's gonna do this. Okay, cool, dude. You keep saying that. We're gonna innovate. We're gonna show the evil government better ways if that's what they need. And we're gonna be the ones to fix this place up and make it better and better and better. So here's your call to action at the end of the video. right where it should be. Think really hard about something and set a goal for yourself. Say, I want to invent something new, either a new product, a new thing, or a new idea, or a new thought, feeling, or emotion. You can invent new feelings and people will follow that feeling. They'll be like, they'll want to hang out with you. They'll want to watch your videos. They want that feeling. Because if people find a new feeling, that leads to new inventions, new things. That new feeling leads to new ways of life. That new feeling leads to new ways of thinking. Really, the feeling is the fundamental basis of all new things. New feelings lead to new life experiences in terms of things, thoughts, emotions, how people act, how people think, and so on. So find that feeling that is brand new, that you've never felt before. Signing off. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more content, comment down below something helpful and interesting to us all. Please enlighten us with your comments. Thank you. Once again, Jacob Durnell signing off. More videos always on their way. Get excited, guys. This is all for you to innovate on. If you're into that, you can always just hang out with your friends and family and do what always works, and hey, that's cool too. So have fun, guys. Enjoy this and help the human race become better and better every single day. Don't stop. Every day, every single day, help the human race become better. Set a goal to invent something new. Bye-bye.